Washington Bullets and your New York Knicks. Here tonight's starting lineups. First for the Bullets. At guard at 6'4" from Kentucky, number 3, Rex Chapman. At guard at 5'10" from Boston College, number 10, Michael Adams. At forward at 6'10" from North Carolina State, number 24, Tom Gugliotta. At forward at 6'10" from UCLA, number 34, Don McLean. And at center at 6'10" from Louisville, number 43, Purvis Ellison. The trainer is John Lally, assistant coaches Jeff Vizdelik and Robert Reed, and the head coach, Wes Unseld. And now, please welcome your New York Knicks. At guard at 6'5" from Oklahoma State, number 3, John Starks. At guard at 6'2" from UNLV, number 50, Greg Anthony. At forward at 6'7" from Ohio State, number 9, Tony Campbell. At forward at 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, co-captain Charles Oakley. And at center at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, co-captain Patrick Ewing. The head trainer is Mike Saunders, the assistant trainer Tim Walsh, assistant coaches Dick Harder and Jim Van Gundy, and the head coach of the Knicks, Pat Riley.
Pat Riley and the Knicks knocked off the Bullets earlier this season in Landover. That was back on the 10th of November. There is Wes Unseld, the coach of the Bullets. It has been a very difficult stretch for this ball club. 8 up, 19 down. And in light of all the losing, how does Wes Unseld continue to motivate his players? A subject we asked.
I think that's an individual personality trait, to be honest with you. I think, we've got, as coaches, we've got to try and get them to put out and do as much as they can, but then it's up to them to have that kind of personality and work ethic that they would want to do that anyway.
Wes Unseld's Bullets have been known for their effort, which reflects him as a player and as a coach, but these are tough times. How much can a coach be asked to do?
Well, last season, John, when the Bullets went 22-60, last in the Atlantic, only Dallas and Minnesota had worse records. The feeling was, for the first time, the Bullets looked upon occasion like they did quit down the stretch of a very disappointing, injury-wracked season. Well, the Knicks control the opening tip. Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing with Oakley and Campbell up front. Here's Campbell, and is rebounded by Gugliotta. Michael Adams starting back. Don McLean, who's had the touch from three-point land. Purvis Ellison for Rex Chapman. So all the Bullets touch the ball, but they're not able to convert.
Chapman loves it when he's the last to touch it. He loves to shoot.
Oakley from deep. The Knicks with a 2-0 lead. Charles Oakley continues to hit the outside shot. We discussed right at the start the good play recently of Don McLean and Tom Gugliotta, but Gugliotta has had a horrendous time against his hometown team, the New York Knicks. Adams with the save, but it's picked off by Anthony. And he's fouled by Adams. Tom Gugliotta out of Huntington, Long Island, 0 for 8 last November against the Knicks, 3 of 13 back in February, and then a 5 of 19, and did not shoot well earlier this season in Washington. Campbell with an adjustment of the shot. Knicks lead 4-0. Gugliotta overall shooting 24% career-wise against the Knicks. Nice pass. Chapman is fouled. Well, no, they say no foul. It's a goaltend. The basket counts. And the Knicks now with a 4-2 lead.
See John Starks totally missing that pass going through. He was focusing in the wrong direction on that play.
And it's knocked out of bounds by Gugliotta.
very impressed with your quickness tonight, Marv. That ball was coming right in the direction of your drink, and you didn't let it happen. Way to go.
I know you'll be checking that move out on Knicks Rewind tonight, John. Foul called by Chapman, a blocking foul. The Bullets last night lost to Sacramento 103-97 in Landover. The Sacramento Kings overcoming a 16-point deficit in the third quarter. Made it a sweep of the two-game series. Here's Starks for three. Well, John Starks, who has been having a very, very difficult time, hits on his first field goal attempt. Starks 6 of 23 the other night against the New Jersey Nets.
You know what I noticed? Not only the ball going in, which is unusual for John these days with the long shots, but his reaction, Marv. Very controlled reaction, like it was no big deal.
Gugliotta working hard. Shot clock running down. Ellison did get it off. The Knicks have a 7-2 lead on the Washington Bullets. Ewing is fouled. Ellison called for the foul. Purvis Ellison playing only his 12th game of the season. Only his third start. He's come back from surgery on both knees, which has severely affected his lateral movement. He has not been the same player.
Patience, patience, patience. Here's a guy who 4 years ago was the #1 draft pick. #1 for Sacramento, and it's been an injury-riddled career for this guy. Last night, however, 8 points, 8 rebounds, and a season-high 6 block shots. So there are signs of his game coming around.
Well, Patrick Ewing hits 1 of 2 from the line from that very same spot the other night against the Nets. He missed that critical free throw. Could have tied the game as he went to the line. An alley-oop that did not work. Gugliotta looking for the steal from behind, allowing Anthony to go the distance. The Knicks 10, the Bullets 2, and Michael Adams calls for time. 9:21 remaining in this first quarter.
He started with that beautiful drive he executed a couple of minutes ago, coming off the 10-point, 8-assist effort against New Jersey the other night.
Yes, one of his better all-around games on Tuesday night. Knicks doubling up on the ball. Now Ellison gets it down low to McClain. The Knicks 10 and the Bullets 4. Don McClain has played well recently in a second year at a UCLA.
Pass like that should not happen as easily as it did for the Bullets.
Oakley turned it over. 3-on-1. Ellison may have gotten away with a travel. The Knicks 10 and the Bullets 6. The Bullets began the season at 6-6. Since then, they have gone 2-13. And they are last in the Atlantic Division. Adams lost control. Scooped up by Starks. Leads Anthony behind the back. First Anthony, then Campbell. Now that's a shot you want to see.
Oh, it's just got to go in.
You know, that's
it's got to go in. There is no God.
That's ridiculous. Not that the ultimate goal is every highlight reel in America, but meanwhile, Greg Anthony continues the good shooting. How often do you see double behind the backs and that
land where they're intended?
Right, and not only that, you can make a case as to the fact that they were essential behind the back passes. You know, sometimes they are forced. Chapman with a wild shot. Here comes Oakley. Charles had to go wide with Gugliotta getting back. The Knicks 12 and the Bullets 6. Nice fake by Starks. 8-point Knick lead.
That really is the game plan of John Starks. That is, snap out of that slump by driving the ball to the basket, and that was beautifully done.
Anthony knocked it away. Anthony going all the way, rebounded by Starks, and tipped home by Oakley. The Knicks 16 and the Bullets 6. Offensive foul. Gugliotta called for his first, so the Knicks get it back.
Oddly enough, Greg Anthony leading the Knicks right now in field goal attempts with 4.
Bullets have quickly compiled 5 turnovers. Last night they had 23. Sacramento with only 14, contributing to their downfall in the second half. McClain backing his way, and Campbell lost his balance, but McClain could not take advantage. Chapman is called for the very solid leg block, I have to say.
And a beauty, Marv.
Yes.
As I like to say when I'm doing hockey games from time to time.
Got to laugh at one person. That's the laughter of Al Troutwig. Yes.
A team player.
Yes. Let's not hope that you're encouraged by Al's glee. The Knicks 16 and the Bullets 6. And it's batted to the crowd. A lot of balls going flying all over the court here in this first quarter. The Bullets will take over.
Unselfishness is always appreciated, but the execution has got to be right. And right now, the Knicks in the first quarter are throwing the ball away with very poor passing because there's no deception either in the execution of it.
Ellison off the fake. It counts, and the foul. Nice moves by Purvis Ellison, who will go to the line.
Purvis Ellison back to the basket, creating his own move. A lot of deception. Series of fakes. You get an idea of Ellison's height at the end of that move. His 6'10" stretch was enabled him to see right over Charles Oakley.
Oakley called for the foul as first. The Knicks lead 16-9. Just under 6 minutes left in the first quarter. John Starks showing the touch early, and as you mentioned, handling it very calmly. Well, we've gone over 6 minutes. Patrick Ewing has not attempted a shot. The other night he was in early foul trouble. Ellison again. The Knicks lead by 7. Greg Anthony calling out a play. Starks. Adams gets to it. Adams pass picked off by Anthony. So Greg Anthony off to the fast start. He's hit 3 out of 5, 6 points. Knicks lead 20-11.
Greg Anthony is playing with such confidence now. Witness a move like that when he took that pass right out of the air. He's loose. He's loose finally.
Here's Chapman. Knicks look to run again. Campbell was slowed down, though, by McClain. Oakley hit the floor at center court. Starks try to go between the legs of Chapman, but could not be handled.
A number of the passes by the Knicks from one teammate to another are not being handled. Patrick Ewing in this game, Marv, you'll note, playing the role of former Bullets center Charles Jones.
Yes, doing a Charles Jones impersonation.
By not shooting the basketball.
Which I don't think is the intent of Patrick and the Knicks. Anthony for 3. Gugliotta pops it down. Chapman, who can lead? The Knicks 20 and the Bullets 13.
And that shouldn't happen. Starks or Anthony, responsible for the backcourt defense, should recognize when the backcourt is open and get there.
Tony Campbell. Patrick Ewing. That's his first shot. The Knicks 22, the Bullets 13. Anthony Mason getting set to come on for the first time. Here's Adams. Patrick Ewing took his first shot 8 minutes and 10 seconds into the first quarter. Now Pat Riley takes a timeout. 3.5 remaining in the first. The Knicks have a 7-point lead.
A reminder from Budweiser. Well, the offense is working pretty well for the Knicks. Defensively, I'm sure Pat Riley would like to see things a little tighter. Ball wrestled away by Tom Gugliotta. Rex Chapman down for a slam dunk. Somebody's sleeping at the switch when it happens so easily for the Bullets.
Anthony Mason, who has been very quiet recently, both offensively and off the boards, has come on replacing Tony Campbell. Leaves with a field goal for 2. Shot clock at 5. Deflected out. Last touch by Starks. Good play as Chapman got a piece of it, and Starks could not control.
One of the things that the Knicks are doing very poorly here in the first quarter is not giving any deception before they execute a pass. So if the Bullet defender feels the ball's going one way, sticks his hands out, he's going to deflect it. It's happened a lot.
3 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Bullets maintaining possession. Chapman played by Starks. Gugliotta over to set the pick. Oakley helps out, doubling up. Anthony with another interception.
That's an example of a telegraph pass, and Greg Anthony read it beautifully.
4th steal for Greg Anthony. Adams has a 3-on-2. Anthony hustling back and is called for the foul. So Anthony got him from behind. And Michael Adams to the line. I mentioned 4 steals for Anthony, 7 in all by the Knicks in this first quarter.
Gugliotta, no deception there. Greg Anthony right out of the air. Nicely done. Gugliotta looked at the target and then threw, much like a pitcher would throw to a catcher. He just announced with his eyes what he was going to do. Now, Mark, one of the things I hear as we see former Knicks, in many ways, favorite player, although he had some rough years here, but the fans always took to Kenny Walker, rather. In Washington, however, Kenny proved that he had plans to stay with the Bullets this year with that fine output. But, you know, I don't feel any energy from the crowd here at all, and there's a touch of that rubbing off on the Knicks. They look like they're kind of going through the motions in many ways here.
Well, it has not been an electrified brand of basketball that we're seeing here at the start. Won't count. Traveling violation. Rolando Blackman has come on. Rolando had a good one the other night against the Nets, trying to play his way back, getting the opportunity, what with Hubert Davis and Doc Rivers sideline. Rolando 6 of 13, season high 17 points. Another Washington turnover. That is their 9th turnover in this first quarter as we come up on 2 minutes remaining. And the Knicks lead 22-17. Mason wide open, now played by Walker. Mason getting it back from Ewing. Ellison with the rebound. Mentioned the game by Kenny Walker against the Knicks earlier this season. That may have saved his job. Nice touch shown by Tom Gugliotta. That's his first shot. And the Bullets are within 3. They double up on Ewing. Pretty drop step. He was guarded by Gugliotta. So Patrick Ewing with his second field goal. He has 5 points. The Knicks lead by 5. Calbert Cheney, the rookie from Indiana, on the court for the first time. He has struggled offensively as of late. Loose ball foul or knocked out of bounds. Apparently knocked out. Last touch by Walker.
Well, Cheney came into the league. The intention was that he would be a small forward, but it appears that the Bullets now are settling down to the idea of seeing him as a shooting guard for his NBA career. Well, he has not gotten into any streak of excellence at all yet.
Ewing. Ball against Ewing. Offensive foul.
Patrick and the fans mystified. Let's take a look at this move by Ewing now. He kind of goes straight line for a moment here and leans in very lightly to a very light, physically 6'10" player in Purvis Ellison, who reacted to that bump.
NF Rush with the call, working the game along with Joe Crawford, Luis Grillo. Ellison. Good start for Purvis Ellison. He's the high man with 9. The Knicks lead 24-21.
Well, Patrick's got to lift up the intensity a bit on Ellison's jump shooting now.
Oakley, yes. Charles Oakley with 6 points. He's hit on 3 out of 3. The Knicks 26, the Bullets 21. And Wes Unseld wants his team to hold for a final shot. Down to 10 seconds in the quarter. Cheney checking the clock, moving against Blackman. Down to 5. Crossover move by Cheney. Oakley rebounds. And that will do it. That's the end of 1. The Knicks 26, the Bullets 21.
Things haven't been that great with Steve and me for a while.
Look at the turnovers in that sloppily played first quarter. Washington with 9 and the Knicks had 7. Blackman and Anthony in the backcourt. Herb Williams has come on. He's up front with Mason and Oakley. Kevin Duckworth, who has been bothered by the flu lately, is on the floor for the first time. He came off the bench the other night against Sacramento, played only 6 minutes. Cheney from deep. Blackman. Oakley gets inside and he's fouled by Walker. In that earlier game in Landover, the Bullets hustled and scrambled their way back into it. Down by as many as 21. They cut it to 6 in the final minutes, but the Knicks were able to hold on. And you mentioned the excellent game by Kenny Walker. Anthony is fouled. Walker with 18 points, career high 14 rebounds against his former club.
He played in 41 minutes in that game, Marvin. At the time, you'll recall that Kenny was there filling in for injured players, and the feeling was, well, we'll give him a look, the Bullets feeling. And he blasted forth against the Knicks, and that look, that game has extended to here tonight, and he's had some good moments. One thing you know with Kenny Walker, the effort will always be there. In fact, his buddy, his main man actually with the Knicks, Patrick Ewing, said that was the best game he ever saw Kenny play, including his time with the Knicks.
We made that comment during the game. I said, and you looked stupefied at the time, John, that I had never seen him play that way. And I was waiting for a reaction.
And you got it from Patrick.
Here's Anthony, trying to stuff, and he was fouled. He was going up with that left hand. Greg Anthony showing more confidence the last couple of games.
Well, that confidence is best exhibited by the idea of stuffing with all these people around him. I mean, Greg does have the good legs and he can get up there, but he's dealing with 7-footers out there. Let's get real, Greg.
And Duckworth was called for the foul. Well, the last 5 games, all starts, and Greg Anthony has picked it up. He's averaging just under 10 points, only 1 turnover per game over the last 5. That is impressive.
One of the outstanding parts of Greg's game is his assist to turnover ratio. 4-to-1 is an excellent ratio.
And another good defensive play by Anthony against Brent Price, who just checked in. Minute and a half gone by in the second quarter. The Knicks lead by 4. Blackman eluding Cheney. Got the idea the other night Rolando is kind of working his way back in terms of finding the touch, and he did. He looked good.
Yes, he looks good in that. He's also setting up his own shots. He's not living off picks necessarily. And boy, did he draw praise from Pat Riley because of his readiness.
Vigliano had a fire with the shot clock down to 3. Williams off the double team gets it back out. Blackman, yes, 3-pointer for Rolando Blackman. And the Knicks have a 32-23 lead. And Wes Unseld asking for a 20-second timeout.
20-second timeout, Washington.
Well, the pats on the back are going to come in Rolando's direction right now. And this is why. Tuesday night against the Nets, The Knicks needed him. It was clear he had to do something, and he did. He shot the ball well, and boy, he made that last three that drew the Knicks to within 1 point of the Nets. Big-time shot by a big-time player who's once again getting a chance to show his skills, which have been dormant here, mainly due to injuries. You just got to be so happy for this class guy. A moment ago, Herb Williams seeing Rolando unguarded. Good shooters love to shoot the ball, and Rolando got the chance then with no one around him.
The Knicks 32, the Bullets 23. 2.5 gone by in the second quarter. Duckworth putting on the floor against Herb Williams. Walker taps it back out. Gugliotta for three. Tom Gugliotta having by far his most effective outing against the Knicks. He has 7 points. Greg Anthony is the high man for the Knicks with 9, and the Knicks have an 8-point advantage.
Nice drive by Greg, baseline, and then the pull-up one-handed shot right on.
And Anthony providing all kinds of problems for Price. Walker wide open. Anthony Mason out at midcourt is hurt, holding the left ankle. And the Knicks call for a 20-second timeout. Knicks trainer Mike Saunders out to check it out along with assistant Knicks trainer Tim Walsh. Here's another look at it.
Price going for the ball, as does Anthony, and Price's right shoulder just KOs Anthony, drives him down. You can see right away that ankle was hurt. That left ankle clobbered by Price's aggressiveness. That's a common play. Both players doing what they have to do. And Anthony Mason, a man who never gives off pain, not allowing much of it to be shown right now.
Anthony indicating he's okay and is apparently able to walk it off.
Boy, that says something about this guy's body.
Would not want to come out.
That's unique, you know. He was hurt badly, and he shook it off. Remarkable.
And it goes back to the Bullets. Price and Cheney now in the backcourt with Duckworth, Walker, Gugliotta up front. Another Bullet turnover. And now Mason is motioning toward the bench. He wants to come out. Anthony Bonner will check in. Oakley.
Oh, what a look.
Nice setup from Williams, but Oakley missed it, and Cheney gives it back. And here's the substitution. Well, Anthony Mason wanted to give it a go, but realizes that he'd be hurting the club as he's hobbling, and he'll head back to the Knicks locker room. So Anthony Bonner comes on for the first time.
In a situation like this, the quicker the ice gets on Mason's ankle, the better, to reduce the swelling on his injured ankle.
Wes Unseld in a conversation with Charles Oakley. You get the idea? You get the idea that Wes was trying to bother Charles?
I would think so. You can't resist his player mentality, I'm sure, from time to time.
Williams sets the pick for Blackman. Here's Herb Williams. The Knicks 36 and the Bullets 28.
Herb thanked Rolando for that nice lead pass.
First field goal for Herb Williams. That lead pass intended for Gugliotta. The end result, turnover number 13 committed by the Bullets. There's John Starks for Greg Anthony, who hears it from the crowd. He played very well. 4 of 7 from the field, 9 points, 3 assists.
Nobody's on Greg Anthony's back when he plays well. Fans forget what happened yesterday, and they sure did with that nice greeting, as they did the other night against New Jersey.
Oakley. Bonner.
Boy, is he quick to a ball off the boards.
Now Williams backing on Walker. Oakley gets inside, and a loose ball foul called against the Bullets. No, they say now against the Knicks, it's on Oakley. And Tom Gugliotta in a heated conversation with the official Louis Grillo. It appeared for a moment that Grillo was calling a technical foul. I thought he gave the indication. All right, we'll be back to sort this out in a moment.
You know, if life were perfect, women wouldn't talk during the bottom of the night.
Yeah, and magazines would never smell like perfume.
No. See, if life were perfect, potato chips would cure hair loss. Dogs would walk themselves.
And algebra. It would actually come in handy.
Well, hey, at least there's Amstel Light. It's only 95 calories.
Yeah, but it still has that real imported taste.
Nothing's missing. Amstel Light is a great beer.
Look, if life were perfect, you'd buy the next round.
All right. I'm buying.
You got a camera?
Everybody used to come in and say, you know, the R in your sign is backwards. Kids play with the same toys everywhere. People in Japan are no different than the people in the United States, no different than the people in Canada. They want things for their children, and the lower the price, the more they'll buy. I buy the majority of my purchases with the American Express card. It's simpler for me, period.
American Express is welcome to Toys R Us and other fun spots.
New Year's '94. Here's the deal. Unwanted gifts go back, New Year's resolutions are made. And a Pontiac Sunbird Coupe or Sedan is only $10,959. A loaded 1994 Pontiac Sunbird, now only $10,959. With air, automatic, power anti-lock brakes, steering and door locks, AM/FM stereo cassette, rear window defogger. A fully equipped '94 Sunbird, 2 or 4 door, only $10,959. That's the Pontiac deal. Now at New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Team Pontiac dealers.
Well, John, sorting out that last sequence, they have changed the call. Lower right-hand corner, you'll see a push by Gugliotta on Oakley. The public address announced it as Oakley's foul, but it was changed, and then Gugliotta argued the call with the official Louis Grillo and was called for both the personal and a technical. And here's Rolando Blackman hitting on the technical.
Gugliotta took a shot in the nose on that play, and that's what he was arguing about. How can the foul be on me if I got smashed in the face? Totally illogical feeling. This is the NBA.
The Knicks 37 and the Bullets 28. Starks and Blackman in the backcourt. Oakley, Ewing, and Bonner up front. Patrick Ewing returning, replacing Herb Williams. Walker with the rebound. Here's Price moving down. McLean, who came on for Gugliotta, goes to the left hand. The Knicks lead by 7. Don McLean, who was the high man last night for the Bullets against the Kings with 25 points, now has 4 this evening.
Pretty good mobility for a guy 6'10". McLean's been scoring a lot this season in his second year. Now a starter.
The report on Anthony Mason, who was forced out just moments ago, sprained left ankle. He may be back. They double up on Ewing, gets it back out to Starks. He's been hitting the jump shot. That's a three-pointer for John Starks. 10 points off to the good start. He has hit 4 of 8.
Well, John Starks appreciates the lack of speed in the double teaming efforts by his man getting back to him to bother him.
Three-point attempt missed by Price. Starks off the head fake. And an offensive foul call. It's on Bonner. Michael Adams returns, replacing Brent Price.
John Starks sizing up the picture here right now. He fakes with the eyes at one point. Bonner comes over and in a move that you will see in the Dallas Cowboy Giants game Sunday, commits a foul.
5.5 remaining in this first half. Ellison had it knocked away, although he thought he was fouled. Chapman playing up on Blackman. Ewing again receiving the double team. Nice pass, Oakley for Bonner. The Knicks 42, for Bullets 30. Michael Adams calling out a play. And a blocking foul on Starks. Starks being playful, but I don't think that Michael Adams appreciated it.
Well, you know, Adams, I thought, initiated the contact the way he drove into Starks. I almost thought that could have been a charging foul. He banged him, you know, because he's a little guy, and people at his size, 5'10" in the NBA to survive, have to be tough, and they get a little overly aggressive from time to time with their moves.
Adams with that shot put style jumper. Ewing unloads to Blackman. The lead for Oakley. Beautiful pass for Blackman. And the Knicks open up a 14-point lead. Wes Unseld getting set to send Tom Gugliotta back in. Knicks in the midst of a 10-2 run. Chapman. Walker with the rebound. And a foul is called.
Aha, a reminder. Kenny Walker can go up high. Somebody get in his way, or he'll outjump anybody on the court. Quite a move here by Rex Chapman. Walker just outleaps everybody for that rebound and then gets taken out of the game.
Yes, Kenny sitting down. Tom Gugliotta makes his return. And now going up against Oakley in a one-on-one. Nice fake. Rejected by Ewing.
Really took a shot on that play.
Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Oakley is fouled by Gugliotta. Good exchange between Ewing and Oakley. For Tom Gugliotta, that is his third foul.
I'll tell you what was so nice about that play. Ewing saw Oakley initially and passed him up, but he didn't lose sight of him. And Oakley then got free and he got the ball. So it took a little concentration and patience by both those guys to make that play work. Take another look at it now. Oakley passes, cuts. There was a little hesitation. He could have gotten the ball earlier in the lane, but Ewing stayed with him until he got free.
Now Gugliotta and McClain will sit down. 7 points for Gugliotta. McClain with 4.
You know, when you're a player coming off the floor and you look at Wes Unseld, I mean, you're on your best behavior. What an ominous figure he is when you're a member of the Bullets and you leave the floor. If you're unhappy with this coach, you keep it to yourself.
Wes in the midst of the final year of his contract. Cheney trying to save it. Called a loose ball foul on Bonner. And Anthony Bonner has picked up 3 fouls.
Well, Bonner's in the NBA because he always goes all out, as he does on this play.
Now Greg Anthony returns.
Pat Riley appreciates his effort with a hand clap as Bonner walks right by him.
So Anthony Bonner sits down. Knicks have a 3-guard setup, although Blackman can be considered a small forward. 3-point attempt. Rex Chapman hits from downtown. The Knicks lead 46 to 33. For the Bullets, their first field goal in 3 minutes. No foul called off that collision.
That's unbelievable. Chapman clobbered. Was that Oakley he clobbered?
Yes.
Ewing under double teaming pressure. Chapman runs in his way. I mean, Charles is not an actor. I mean, he was really hit.
Charles, as we know, loves the floor, likes to go down. Shot clock at 4. And a 3. Ewing. Very few shot opportunities for Patrick Ewing. Knicks lead by 13 with just under 3 minutes left in the first half.
Trouble is, when Patrick doesn't get a lot of shots, he forces one like he just did.
Illegal defense called for the first time. Oakley and Ellison having some words. And a timeout has been called. The Knicks lead by 13. We'll be back at the Garden in a moment.
Get a play. Whistle blown, and the foul after the whistle. Charles Oakley leaning in on Ellison, and that's what people were a little upset about.
That led to the words between Ellison and Oakley, and Wes Unseld unhappy as the teams were walking to the respective benches. Wes complaining that there should have been a foul. Chapman lost it off his foot. Shot clock at 10, 2.5 remaining in this first half. Adams turned back, and a foul is called. Late whistle there. Michael Adams is shaken up, and a pushing foul on Oakley.
Adams always fakes the long shot, then he likes to take it to the basket, and he gets clobbered.
Michael is all right, one of the better foul shooters in the NBA. 89% from the line for Michael Adams. Michael in his 9th year out of Boston College, and a guy who has been around Sacramento, Washington, 4 years in Denver, spent some time in the CBA, back to Washington.
One of the game's great three-point shooters. However, this year shooting at 26% from three-point range, and 41% his field goal percentage, which is way down.
Patrick Ewing has 7 points. The Knicks 48, the Bullets 35. Marv Albert, John Andres, Al Troutwig, and Walt Clyde Frazier from the Garden. Wide open shot for Ellison.
Now, Ellison has made a couple of jump shots already, and the Knicks are ignoring that.
Starks allowed to penetrate, and the Knicks open up a 13-point lead. John Starks with 12 points. He's the high man for the Knicks. Charles Oakley has 10. Albert Cheney going flying.
Now, if you're Cheney, you're wondering why there was no foul call. I mean, Oakley coming over to help from the weak side, doing his job, really laid it on him.
Quick release by Chapman. The Knicks lead 50-39. Albert Cheney, first-round draft pick, the 6th selection overall, but has had a rough time, as we discussed earlier, in finding his niche in these days, coming off the bench. Ewing again facing the double team. Blackman the open man, and Chapman rebound. Adams accelerating, and the call against the Bullets. Well, away from the ball, Kevin Duckworth setting an illegal pick. So 0-0, Kevin Duckworth.
Boy, does he look
picks
heavy.
it up. Bothered by the flu recently. Listed at 275 pounds. Always has had that weight problem.
He slimmed down with the Portland Trailblazers, but he looks like he's gotten it all back.
Ewing. Very difficult shot. He felt he was fouled. The Knicks lead 52-39. Kevin Duckworth acquired from the Trailblazers in the deal for Harvey Grant. His play has really dropped off in recent years. And as I say that, now apparently deflected out. He had nowhere to go on that back-end move. And out in Portland, they were saying weight problems certainly contributing to the drop-off in play. Duckworth. And it will be Nick Ball. 37 seconds remaining in this first half. The Knicks lead 52-39. It has not been a memorable first half. Crowd has been very quiet.
A sellout here again, as usual, at the Garden, but the crowd is not seeing greatness out here, and As a result, they're quiet. Oh, what a move by Charles, who can't finish it, though.
And the ball goes back to Washington with 25 seconds left in the half. Wes Unseld setting it up from the sideline. 3-second differential between the play clock and the 24-second clock. Oakley jumping out. Shot clock at 2, down to 1. Chapman, too late. Look out. 24-second violation. Would have been an offensive foul. Would have been a charge.
Oakley made some recovery. He was out high at half court chasing the dribble, and then he ended up drawing the charge at the end of that play.
2 5/10 seconds. And now they have adjusted it to 3 8/10 seconds remaining in the first half. Knicks by 13. And Oakley will throw it in. Anthony firing. At the end of the half, it's the Knicks 52 and the Bullets 39. The high man John Starks with 12. Good performance by that man Greg Anthony. Bob Page coming up at the MSG Sports Desk, and then we'll hear from Alan Clyde. Stay with us.
Respectable. The Battle of Florida is turning out to be quite a rivalry tonight. Miami and Orlando are playing in Miami, and the Magic are leading 45-42 late second quarter. Orlando hoping to have the services of Shaquille all game. He was ejected in the third quarter of last night's loss to Atlanta. Here, Anthony Hardaway feeds O'Neal down low for the unmolested dunk early in the opening quarter. And then later in the first, again, it's Anthony Hardaway with the basketball, looking, gets it down low to O'Neal for another jam. He has 13 points so far, and again, Orlando has a 3-point lead. Two depleted teams going at it in Charlotte. The Bulls, who have won 10 straight games, missing Horace Grant. He's out due to bronchitis. They trail Charlotte by the score of 46-44 late second quarter. That's surprising because both Alonzo Mourning with an ankle injury and Larry Johnson, bad back, are out for the Hornets. Tony Kukoc's taking advantage of the absence of the big men there by driving to the hole for the jam. Hornets still led by 10 after the first quarter. Here in the second quarter, that's former UConn star Scott Burrell with a bank shot, and that gave Charlotte at the time a 9-point margin, which again is down to 2. After Derek Coleman publicly treated Chuck Daly with a decided lack of respect during the Knicks game the other night, now Chris Morris and Daly are having problems. The two reportedly engaged in a heated shouting match last night in Chicago over Morris's lack of playing time. Just think about it. Morris, Coleman, the noted Rhodes Scholar Benoit Benjamin, all on one team. I'm not sure I envy Chuck Daly much. Did you see that Celtics rookie Dino Raja shot 0 for 14 from the field in a recent game against San Antonio, tying a franchise record for futility set by the great Bill Russell? Raja said, "I tie a Bill Russell record. Unfortunately, it's the wrong one." But when Danny Ainge found out about Raja, he added, "People claim he struggled." Struggled? He put up 14 shots in 18 minutes. He's my idol. I'll have more right after. Alomar has suffered a foot injury playing winter ball. He is on his way back to Toronto for examination and possible treatment. And the Giants are now saying that injured stars Jumbo Elliott and Michael Brooks have been upgraded for Sunday's showdown with Dallas. It is now a 50-50 proposition whether they play. More tonight and every night at 11 o'clock on the MSG Sports Desk. After again, this time.
Service to. It's the perfect opponent for the Knicks to get back on track. The 9-18 Bullets, 52-39 is the lead here at halftime. A look at the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle Dealer scoring summary. John Starks has the touch. 5 for 9 from the floor, a three-pointer, 2 three-pointers, and 12 points. Charles Oakley really played at both ends of the floor so hard. 10 points, 8 rebounds. Patrick Ewing, very quiet, 9 points. For the Bullets, they were led by Purvis Ellison's 11. Rex Chapman hit for 9. Tom Gugliotta shaking off the garden jinx as the Huntington Station native returns home to score 7. Al Troutwig with Walt Clyde Frazier. And Clyde, I think the Knicks have shaken off the ill effects of Tuesday's game and really seem to play with effective intensity, turning the ball 16 times for the Washington Bullets.
Yeah, they're very focused. Good continuity on the offense, good adhesion on the defense, and the guards have been the catalyst, especially especially Greg Anthony and John Starks.
Speaking of those two very remarkable first halves for both of them. Greg Anthony heard the cheers and Starks saw the shots fall. The highlights are brought to you by Minolta, makers of the new Freedom 105EX, only from the mind of Minolta. Greg Anthony stealing, shooting, and running the show.
Yeah, the team thriving under the auspices of Greg now. The last 5 games, he has 14 steals. Here, a good anticipation to pick this one off as well.
Very important for John Starks to break the slump early, and he did that.
Right, along the baseline, the Matador D by Chapman, the Bullets without an intimidator, John capitalizing.
A layup there, but hitting the outside shots too. Purvis Ellison with 11 points.
Yeah, never nervous. He's 6'10", 225. Watch the nice shake and bake here to draw the foul as well.
Tom Gugliotta, bothered by foul trouble. He did pull down 5 rebounds and score 7.
Googie last season on the all-rookie team, good range on his jumper, drilling this one.
Clyde, I'd like to think that for the Knicks, they're satisfied with the first half, but I also have to think that what they want to do to really feel good about tonight is shut down Washington and really pull away in the second half. Don't give them any chances.
Yeah, I agree. They should come out and smother them. The Bullets played last night, you know. They squandered a 16-point lead to the hapless Kings. They also had 23 turnovers in that game, so I look for the Knicks to keep the intensity on the defense.
All right, Clyde, be good on the radio.
Right.
That's our halftime report. Knicks leading the Washington Bullets. When we get back, Marvin John with the second half, 52-39.
Buying a house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make. And with today's interest rates being so low, now is the time to buy or refinance a home. But there are so many questions to be answered. Can I afford a new home? What type of mortgage do I need? How can I lower my monthly payments? Experts agree that whenever possible, a fixed-rate loan is the most secure loan you can get. With a fixed-rate loan, you'll know in advance what your payments will be every month. Why risk having your monthly payments go up unexpectedly?
But finding a low, fixed-rate mortgage isn't so easy.
It is now. Just call 1-800-FIXED-RATE. That's right. When you call 1-800-FIXED-RATE, you'll be speaking with experts in the mortgage field who will help you with the many aspects of buying or refinancing a home, including getting you a low fixed-rate loan that could dramatically lower your monthly payments.
We called 1-800-FIXED-RATE and found that we could afford our own home.
And we got an excellent rate.
Time is running out for you to take advantage of today's low interest rates. So call 1-800-FIXED-RATE today.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by the Discover Card. It pays to discover, the card that pays you back. By MetLife. Get Met, it pays. And by Coca-Cola Classic. Always jammin', always Coca-Cola.
Back at the Garden, halftime, Knicks up 52-39, a good sign. Anthony Mason back onto the floor, and to tell you about some of the things that happened in that first half and call the second, Marvin John. Marv?
All right, Al, as we check out the some of the stats for the first half, the Bullets 48%, 16 for 33, while the Knicks shot well. 22 of 42 sparked by John Starks with that jump shot returning in the first half. The Knicks with the edge off the boards, 20-14. And in the turnover department, the Bullets again having their problems as they did last night in the loss to Sacramento.
Those turnovers gave the Knicks 16 points of their 52. And in the steals department, the Knicks led by Greg Anthony, who had 4 in the first quarter alone. 4 steals out of the team's 9. our Toyota matchup featuring the forwards on both teams. Tom Gugliotta shooting a little better than he has in the past here at the Garden. Charles Oakley already in double figures in points and close to that with 8 rebounds already. Charles has been averaging double doubles, double points, double rebounds all season long.
So it is Washington ball as we get underway in the third quarter. Michael Adams working against Greg Anthony. Knicks double up on Adams. Here's Rex Chapman. The Knicks lead 52-41. Pat Riley going with Anthony Bonner starting the second half along with Charles Oakley and Patrick Ewing. John Starks, Greg Anthony in the backcourt. Bonner came up short, and here's Don McLean. I'm wondering if Tony Campbell is injured. I saw him holding the his left leg, in fact rubbing the left knee. I know you do that from time to time, John, just out of idleness.
A nervous habit.
Yes, but Tony's been playing well, but is not starting this second half. McLean, and a foul is called. Starks picks it up.
John Starks, despite his diminutive width, and he doesn't give off a lot of weight, is very strong. And McLean at 6'10" just came down, and Starks tried to get him to commit the offensive foul, took the hit, and a solid hit, and just shook it right off and started with a conversation with one of the his Knicks teammates.
McLean is an 82% free throw shooter.
McLean claims his turnaround now in his sophomore year in the NBA is based on the weight training he committed himself to this summer. He's a lot stronger, and boy, are the results are stronger as well for him.
Off the turnover, Gugliotta able to fire it down, and a foul called. A hard foul given up by Charles Oakley. And for Charles, that is his third foul.
On that deflection, on that Oakley attempt, Gugliotta flips that ball forward to Michael Adams, who gets rocked clearly by Charles. Another look at it. I don't know whether the contact hurt him more than the post under the basket, but he came to a sudden stop.
Adams hit his first. He's 5 for 5 from the foul line. And so the Bullets creeping back, now down by 8. 5 straight points by Washington opening up this third quarter. Anthony, no hesitation with the jump shot. Greg Anthony has 11 points.
Make that 5 out of 9 for Greg.
The Knicks by 10 with 2 minutes gone by in the third. Adams forced shot. Gugliotta, wide open shot for Tom Gugliotta. 9 points for the native of Huntington Station, Long Island. The Knicks lead is 8. Starks, yes. And it appears that the outside touch has returned. John Starks, over the previous 8 games, shot only 33% from the field. That's a 3-point attempt. And the touch has certainly returned for Tom Gugliotta against the New York Knicks, shooting very well, 5 of 7, 12 points in all. And the Bullets are down now by only 7 after trailing by as many as 16.
Rex Chapman driving to the basket on the recovery, gets that ball back to Gugliotta quite nicely, and Gugliotta has shown for once and for all Knicks fans here, and of course his family from Long Island, who you know are here tonight, that he can shoot the ball at the Garden. No more Garden jitters. Meanwhile, Pat Riley has got to be thinking more about defense now that the Knicks, 2 fellows, John Starks and Greg Anthony, who have been struggling shooting the ball, have solved those problems tonight. This team defense for the Knicks has got to tighten up now.
9.5 remaining in the third quarter. Ewing off balance, rebounded by Gugliotta. The Knicks lead is 7. Adams tried to lose Anthony off the pick. Ewing respecting the three-point range of Gugliotta. Ellison stepped out of bounds. The Knicks with a record of 17-7. They come off the loss to the Nets here on Thursday. They have lost 3 of the last 5 games. 2 of the defeats at the hands of the Nets, the other to Chicago. Anthony again. Prior to the stretch of losing 3 out of 5, they had won 5 in a row.
You know, Marv, if Jerry Tarkanian, former coach at UNLV, walked into the Garden tonight to check out his former player, Greg Anthony, he'd say, so what? That's what I was used to seeing. Oh, he's putting on a show here tonight with his shooting.
Purvis Ellison cuts it to a 7-point lead. Here's Starks. I think even back in his Nevada-Las Vegas days, there were some question marks about the shooting touch of Greg Anthony, but I think Jerry saw more of this side than what the Knicks have seen. It's called a jump ball.
But what's interesting tonight is the variety of shots that Greg Anthony is executing successfully. Running one-handers, drives, jump shots from decent range. I mean, the repertoire is at its best.
And there's no hesitation, which is a major factor, because he was a different player earlier this season. Now he is getting the looks and he is taking the shots. No hesitation at all. And Greg Anthony is 6 of 10 from the field. He has 13 points. Open shot for Chapman. Ewing with the rebound and pitches down to Starks. Oh, beautifully done. The Knicks 60, the Bullets 51.
The Knicks have been flirting since the first half with blowing this thing open, and 13 has been a number they've achieved, but they can't seem to really get it up to 20 where it belongs.
Quick release, open jump shot by Rex Chapman. And here's Chapman off the steal. Well, that 3-on-2 was nullified. Chapman went to his right for Ellison rather than Adams, who was driving to the hoop. Shot clock at 5. McLean. And back comes Bonner. The Knicks on a break. Starks open. Yes.
Well, this is a great game for John Starks in that he is not getting the defensive intensity from the opposition that he's been used to lately. As a result, he's not being forced into rush shots, or he's not, I should say, taking his shots under rush conditions.
John, we just received the report on Tony Campbell. I mentioned it appeared that he was hurting. Good play by Bonner. Washington maintains possession. Tony Campbell is out the rest of the way after aggravating a bruise under his right foot. So he is out, and we're told now Anthony Mason, with that sprained ankle suffered in the first half, will not be back.
Of all the credit cards out there, only one has Smart Rate, now as low as 14.9% and no annual fee. Discover Card. It's a better deal. It pays to discover. This holiday season, while you're shopping, we'll be dropping $5 million in the Discover Card Big Payback. Now, every time you use your card, you're automatically entered in our $5 million sweepstakes. It pays to discover the card with the big payback.
AT&T has prepared a statement we would now like to present. Introducing AT&T Maximum Advantage. AT&T guarantees in writing that your business will get our lowest price, or we'll automatically credit you the difference. We'll make recommendations quarterly to help you do business in more efficient ways, even internationally. And as we introduce new technology and services to help your business grow, you will learn about them here. Look in the mail for this valuable statement from AT&T. Thank you. End of statement.
From the instant you begin, until you're over the top. There are no words to describe it. But if you're lucky enough to try it, then you'll know what the others know. The Toyota 4x4. It's the closest thing to owning the mountain. Toyota trucks, you just gotta love them.
Thank you for coming. Back at the Garden in the front row with a season ticket holder since 1968, Dustin Hoffman and his basketball expert son, Jake. You've often been an outspoken member of the fan clubs of the shorter players in this league, like Spud Webb and others. What about Michael Adams here tonight?
Well, I think I'll defer to Jake. You had a short conversation with him during halftime. What did he say to you?
Get that off the hook here, Jake.
Adam said that us short guys got to stick out for each other, and he's right.
All right, Marv, we've got a couple of short guys sticking up for each other over here. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Al. Ball goes back to the Knicks. 3-second violation. Or 5-second violation on the inbounds. So the Knicks with a 62-53 lead with 6:20 remaining in this third quarter. Ewing. Yes. Nice back-end move by Patrick Ewing. And the Knicks lead by 11. As we went to commercial just a moment ago, I mentioned both Tony Campbell and Anthony Mason are out the rest of the way. Mason with the sprained ankle. Campbell with a leg injury. So the Knicks, who have been injury hit this season, are now down to a very short roster. Gugliotta was fouled. And he'll go to the line. Ewing called for the foul. So Pat Riley may be going down to the other end of the bench. Anthony Mason will be sitting it out. Eric Anderson perhaps will get some playing time tonight, depending on the foul situation. Of course, Rolando Blackman can play small forward, as he did briefly in the first half. And we'll see extra time, I'm certain, for the likes of Herb Williams and Anthony Bonner, who started this second half.
Well, the way to look at it is that these are exciting times for some guys who don't get much playing time, and Pat Riley kind of reflected that in his recent remarks about the Knicks not overly anxious to make a trade or do anything dramatic unless it's a real good move.
Well, the Knicks last season very fortunate in terms of getting hit by injury. They were relatively injury-free, and it has certainly gone the other way. Nice toss handle by Pat Riley.
Fans recognize that.
But this season, the injuries have come in full force. Charles Smith, Doc Rivers, Hubert Davis. Starks, rebounded by Gugliotta. The Knicks by 10 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And McLean with his third field goal. He has 7.
Knicks don't have enough of a lead where they could relax, and Pat Riley could maybe play a Corey Gaines or Eric Anderson. It just isn't that way quite yet in this game. The Knicks are playing fairly well here in the third quarter, but not enough where they really have blown by the Bullets.
Foul called on Gugliotta. That is his 4th. Knicks staying with Oakley, Ewing and Bonner up front. Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. And a 3-second violation is called on Ewing. Washington Bullets with a record of 8-19. They're last in the Atlantic Division. Come off a loss at home last night to Sacramento. At one point, they lost 10 in a row. They began the season in promising fashion at 6-6, and since then they've gone 2-13. That will count. It's a goaltender. Ellison receives credit.
Now that pass went from Michael Adams out high, right inside to Ellison under the basket. Why does that pass get in there so easily? Probably a question Pat Riley wants to know.
The Knicks lead is down to 6. They led by as many as 16. Oakley. And it's rebounded by Gugliotta. Wes Unseld staying with Tom Gugliotta despite the 4 fouls. Anthony with the steal. And Anthony is fouled by Adams.
Greg indicating and gesturing that he was in the process of shooting that ball. Take a look at Greg. Crossover dribble, driving to the basket. He wants a two-shot foul, Marv, and he's not going to get it.
That his 5th steal of the night. Greg Anthony with 5 steals. Ewing, yes. The Knicks 66 and the Bullets 58. Ewing has 13 points. The Bullets, among their many problems, have struggled offensively. They have reached the 100-point mark only 3 times the past 14 games. Purvis Ellison has been on fire. Missed his first attempt. He's hit his last 8. Ellison with 17. Chapman with the steal. 3-on-2. Adams puts the speed on and feeds Gugliotta. Missed the layup. Rebound Chapman. And the Bullets are within 4. Pat Riley wants a timeout. 3 minutes remaining in the third, and the Knicks are hearing some boos from this capacity crowd. One of the many Knick injured players, Charles Smith, lending his support, out for at least another 3 weeks after the arthroscopic surgery on his left knee. Charles, though, has been taking part in some of the shoot-arounds earlier today. The scene with Charles looking to relocate the touch. It's expected he'll be out at least 3 additional weeks.
Charles refusing to shave or get a haircut until he gets back into the Knicks uniform. And it's rather becoming look to him, actually, as Patrick Ewing is frustrated underneath in his attempt.
And apparently the officials disagree. Joe Crawford does not appreciate Wes Unseld screaming from the bench. And now Crawford and Grillo talk it over. And it is being called Knick ball. Last touch by the Bullets. Bullets have done the job off the boards. Coming within 4 of the Knicks. And that's a holding foul on Chapman, who got caught on Oakley. So Oakley will go to the line.
Greg Anthony showing his new confidence by calling a little team meeting at the foul line, and Oakley and Ewing walking over listening.
9-2 run by the Bullets. Oakley is 2 for 2 from the line. And the Knicks are 6 out of 10 from the foul line. They struggled the other night, which hurt against the Nets. 18 of 27 at the foul line in that 2-point loss to the New Jersey Nets. The Knicks 68, the Bullets 62.
Unusual, Oakley still has the 8 rebounds that he had at the end of the first half.
Good play by Bonner, getting in the passing lane to break it up. Came up with a steal, trying to lead the break. Oakley had to save it. Anthony giving it back, and that was 1 pass too many. Ewing. Well, Patrick Ewing was able to save that sequence, which nearly got away from the Knicks.
Well, Charles Oakley is pointing to himself, shaking his head as he runs down court, knowing that he overpassed.
The Knicks lead 70-62. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the third. Holding foul on Anthony.
Well, a defensive play by Anthony Bonner was noteworthy in that this hasn't happened enough for the Knicks tonight. You see that pass going inside, and Bonner doesn't allow the pass to get through. And it's unusual because that hasn't happened tonight until that moment. That's basic defense, not allowing your man to get a pass underneath the basket.
Gugliotta, rebounded by Anthony. Good save. Ewing. Knicks open up a 10-point lead, 17 for Ewing. Minute 20 remaining third quarter. Kenny Walker getting set to return. McLean setting up Ellison. That was well done by Don McLean, who appeared to be in the midst of a drive to the basket.
Knicks defenders, the big men with their hands down, allowing that pass to slide through.
Starks, yes. 20 points for Starks, who's hit on 9 of 15. The Knicks lead by 10. Offensive foul.
Greg Anthony got shaken up on that play.
Chapman flashing the elbow, picks up his second foul. Chapman trying to set the pick and extended the arm and caught Anthony. Walker switching off to Anthony. Ewing open. And we get a whistle. 3-second violation. Oakley in the lane, too long.
Generally, when the 3-second violation is called against the Knicks, it's Charles who is in the lane a little too long. Naturally, his thing is rebounding, and sometimes he camps in there a little bit too long.
Half minute remaining in the third. Chapman forcing. Obviously. Still an 8 on the 24. Those are the ups and downs of Rex Chapman. You saw one of the negatives. Now to 10 seconds to go in the third. Knicks with the ball. 10-point lead. They double up on Anthony. Anthony goes to the running one-hander. Adams' shot was called off, would not have counted. After 3, the Knicks 74, the Bullets 64. There's the 7'7" rookie out of Romania, George Murasan, who among active players is slightly taller than Manute Bol, the tallest player in the NBA. His finest moment as a pro back in late November, rejecting Shaquille O'Neal of Orlando, but they went right back to Shaquille, and he served up a facial. Well, the tall and the short of it, John, last night. How about Spud Webb with the rejection of Michael Adams?
Well, everybody knows how Spud can jump around the league, and he showed Michael that although he's shorter than Michael, he can still get up and stop him, and he did beautifully.
When the Knicks played the Bullets down in Landover, Murasan was sitting out because of the chicken pox. Fourth quarter is underway. The Knicks with a 74-64 lead on the Bullets. Murasan played in the French League last year. It's been called by some a slow, Marky. Did you know that?
Oh, very analytical description is Cheney shows the touch here. Meanwhile, the Bullets had their best quarter of the 3 with a 25-point third quarter.
Starks changed his mind and now shoots. John Starks with 22 points. The Knicks lead 76-66. Duckworth is back. Duckworth, Cheney, Walker up front. Chapman and Adams in the backcourt. Herb Williams getting set to check in. The Knicks are shorthanded up front. Well, with Mason and Campbell out for the game. Chapman cuts it to an 8-point lead. Mason spraining an ankle in the first half. And Campbell aggravated a foot injury. Both have had it for the night. Ewing hit on a reach-in. Substitutions for the Knicks. Rolando Blackman replacing Anthony Bonner, and Herb Williams will check in for Patrick Ewing. Had a good third quarter. Ewing sits down with 17.
Well, I tell you, Marv, if Patrick looks like he's been laboring a bit tonight, and you look at him leave the court now, if someone told me he had a bad cold or was bothered by the flu to some degree, I'd believe it. He just looks like he's down a bit.
Chapman draws the foul. It's called on Anthony. That's 3 on Anthony. High point man for the Knicks is John Starks. His first 20-point performance. He has 22. since back on December 9th at Golden State when he scored 27. He went 8 straight games without hitting the 20-point mark. Over that stretch, averaged only 12 points per game. He has had a very difficult time, but it looks like the shot is back. The Knicks lead 76-69. We're early in the fourth quarter. For the Knicks, it is game 3 of a 5-game homestand. They'll play Charlotte here on Sunday. That's a 6 o'clock start. And the next Tuesday, home for Shaquille and the Orlando Magic. Adams came from out of bounds. And the ball goes back to the Knicks.
Knicks have to be wary now. The one quality that has really described the Washington Bullets over the years is their continuous effort. And Michael Adams, showing a lot of energy, wants to spark a comeback now. And they're only 7 points away from the Knicks.
Orlando Blackman turning it over. It has not been a game of high energy. The crowd has not been in it, which is understandable. It has not been action-packed. Here's Chapman for 3. And the Knicks now lead 76-72. Now the crowd trying to urge the Knicks on. Starks, yes. 3-pointer for John Starks. He was given a wide open shot, and Wes Unseld upset about the defensive effort, and he's calling for 22nd timeout. Here's John Starks on fire. You do not give him that kind of shot.
John now 3 out of 3 3-point shooting. And the reason he has been having trouble of late is because teams have been ganging up on him. You can see the defense coming too late. Just like in any sport, when you start to rise above the crowd with excellent performance, other teams prepare more for you. Well, the Bullets aren't showing the preparation that Wes Unseld undoubtedly discussed with them, and that is don't let John Starks take open shots.
Substitution, Doug Overton with the ball, checking in for the first time. Did not play at all last night in the loss to Sacramento. Second-year man from LaSalle, who played very well last year, but has not been able to match that performance this season. Chapman from deep. That was just within 2-point range, and the Knicks lead by 5. Chapman tried to draw the charging foul on Starks. 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Oakley is fouled. Fouled by Chapman. So that is 4 on Chapman. 4-piece on Chapman and Gugliotta. And Oakley will go to the line. Charles is 4 for 4 from the line.
Rex Chapman, the man we're just looking at, having his best year by far now, shooting 49%, 3 points percent, 3 percentage points over his career average of 46, and also leading this team in scoring. You have something to say, Marv?
No, I'm just an observer, John. As you corrected yourself 5 times in one sentence.
And counting.
Yes. I wasn't even going to bring it up, but once again, the loud giggle of Al Trotwood caught my attention.
Well, I'm trying my best in my stumbling way to bring some excitement to this.
Al, actually a very fine laugh track at times for the telecast. Cheney. And Kenny Walker, over anxious, is called for the offensive interference.
Cheney on the soft touch. Kenny Walker hanging around up there. Committed the faux pas.
The Knicks with a 7-point lead. Williams with a nice fake goes around Duckworth.
You know, it's interesting how Duckworth, a man of his size, could be faked out so easily. I mean, it shows the man has reactions.
Yes,
it's a positive. I mean, he's such a big guy, you wouldn't think he'd move that quickly on that little fake.
It's like going to the doctor when he hits you on the knee, John, showing you have a reaction. And Duckworth was fouled. Bob Williams called for the personal. So Kevin Duckworth, fouled in the act, will go to the line. He's only a 66% free throw shooter.
See how quick Duckworth was to follow Herb to the basket?
It's like saying where the man breathes. Actually, Kevin Duckworth had a difficult time last year. A knee injury back in March set him back on the injured list for the first time in his career. The Knicks lead 83-76. 4.5 gone by in the fourth quarter. Patrick Ewing is getting set to return. Blackman from deep. Oakley on the back tap, but it's handled by Cheney. And now Doug Overton is running the offense. Overton and Chapman in the backcourt. Duckworth, Walker, Cheney up front. Chapman. And it knocked away. And the Bullets maintain possession with 10 on the shot clock. Ewing for Williams. And Williams sits down with 2 field goals, 2 out of 4 points. Patrick Ewing had a strong third quarter. He has 17 in all. Chapman rushing the shot. Ewing pegs it again. Right on target for Starks. It's been a very impressive combination. Second time tonight that Ewing has combined with the long home run pass with Starks.
Just beautifully thrown by Ewing. Boy, when Starks doesn't have to break his stride, that you know it's perfect.
Knicks lead it by 9. Nice fake by Gugliotta. He's played well. 15 for Tom Gugliotta.
Oakley made a nice play, too, denying Gugliotta the baseline.
Tom Gugliotta last year, first-round draft pick, led all rookies in assists and steals. Ewing off balance. The Knicks lead 87-78.
Well, one thing we know from prior history, and that is Ewing can eat up Kevin Duckworth.
Chapman gets the pick. It's a pick and roll. Gugliotta. And the Knicks on a break. Dangerous pass from Oakley behind the back on the run, and he coughed it up. Gugliotta right back, and you know Pat Riley did not appreciate that lead from Oakley.
But he loves Oakley, Marv. Don't forget that.
Well, he does. He's had very nice things to say about Charles, who has had a very strong year, but from time to time, Charles will get a little fancy. Overton lost the dribble off his foot. And a timeout taken by the Knicks with 5:37 remaining in the fourth.
Friends, use good sense and drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. Taking a look now at our Delta Airlines upcoming schedule. It'll be the Charlotte Hornets here Sunday with 5:30 p.m. Knicks game night. And then Tuesday, Shaquille O'Neal and the Orlando Magic. And then January 6th, the Knicks finally leave town after a long homestand and go out and visit Milwaukee.
Unusual 6 o'clock start Sunday night for the game against Charlotte. John, that's because of the time change here in the East. Aware of that?
Yes, I am, Rob. Thank you.
Ewing called for his third. It's a one-night change. It's a new time standard you may not be aware of.
Sunday standard.
Coming up on 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Anthony batting it away. Another Knicks steal.
Also known as the after the big football game standard, so that all men are busy Sunday, sitting, watching.
It's the first of 4 games between the Knicks and Charlotte. Last year, the Knicks took 3 out of 4. They had a tough playoff series against the Hornets. Ewing with a bullet hook pass for Oakley. The Knicks with an 89-80 lead. Bullets will have some time off. They will not play until next Wednesday, a home game against Indiana. Offensive foul. It's on Duckworth for setting the illegal pick. And for Kevin Duckworth, his 4th foul.
Duckworth leaning in on that pick that clobbers John Starks. Got to be totally stationary when you set the pick. Any kind of movement into the defender, and it's your foul, the offensive man's foul.
And Washington with an incredibly high number of turnovers, 27 now. Knicks have 19, which is not a number that will please the coaching staff. Rolando Blackman extends to a 91-80 Knick lead.
You know what Rolando had in that jump shot, Marv? That little extra kick that really typifies Rolando, his jump shooting through the years, when the legs, a la Dick Barnett, kind of bend beneath him when he shoots the executes the shot.
Are you saying almost a fallback baby style that Dick Barnett made fashionable? And a loose ball foul is called against the Bullets. It's on Ellison. Purvis Ellison has had the hot hand. Missed his first field goal attempt. He's hit his last 9. Purvis receiving a long rest and then losing his man right there. Patrick Ewing off a nice lead. Purvis still struggling coming back from the arthroscopic knee surgery. The Knicks by 13 and the Bullets call for time.
Square Garden gift certificates available in denominations of $10, $25, $50, and $100. The gift certificates are redeemable for virtually anything in the Garden. Garden gift certificates are on sale now at the Garden Season Subscriptions office or by calling 212-465-6073.
And there is the Bullets head coach Wes Unseld, 2-time All-American at Louisville, led the Bullets to the NBA championship back in 1978 as a 6'7" center, master of the outlet pass. Wes Unseld in his 7th season as coach of the Bullets, and they have been struggles these past few years. Knicks have a 13-point lead. We're down to 3:20 remaining. On the subject of Wes Unseld, he has the longest tenure among active coaches with 7 years, followed by the likes of Don Nelson and Jerry Sloan. Phil Jackson in his 5th year as head man of the Chicago Bulls. That last foul was called on Don McLean. Ellison and Ewing entangling, and again the foul against the Bullets. It's called on Ellison. It puts Washington over the limit. Bullets with 27 turnovers, the most turnovers committed by a Knick opponent this season. 29. Dallas at 29 a couple of weeks back. And Patrick Ewing is 1 of 3 from the foul line.
Looking at Patrick's foul shooting, a career 73% shooter. He's averaging 79 this year. He's made big strides in this department for the positive.
The Knicks lead by 14 with 3 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Oakley knocked it away. Blackman for Ewing. And the Knicks open up a 16-point lead. It matches their biggest of the night.
The beauty of that execution by Blackman was that Ewing didn't have to dribble the ball. Came at a perfect time.
McLean facing a double team. Ellison. Purvis Ellison has hit his last 10 shots. Missed his first. He's 10 of 11. He has 21 points. The Knicks 96. The Bullets 82.
Ellison plays with such a lack of passion that I think people watching this game, when they read the report of the game tomorrow, are going to be shocked by that number, Marv. 10 straight field goals. He's just so impassive out there. Turn back the pages to 1986 when he was the Final Four MVP as a freshman when he led Louisville to the NCAA title.
Well, he has that very calm look, which led to the nickname, as you know, Never Nervous Purvis. Timeout has been taken. We'll be right back.
Bonzo and Larry Johnson. Tony Bennett to ex-Syracuse star LaRon Ellis. Chicago's 10-game win streak is in big trouble now. Marv?
All right, Bob. Yes, Chicago coming in at 18-8 with that remarkable 10-game win streak on the line in the fourth quarter in Charlotte. Here at Madison Square Garden, 2 minutes 16 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The Knicks in a methodical performance, putting the Bullets away. They lead 96-82, and they've done it without Tony Campbell in the starting lineup. And then did not come out in the second half. Anthony Bonner starting in his place. And then it was disclosed that Tony re-aggravated a leg injury. Oakley called for that foul, his fourth. Anthony Mason went down with a sprained ankle in the first half. Tried to hang in, but it was thought best for him to sit out. So the Knicks shorthanded tonight, but having a little problem with the Bullets. They've led by as many as 16 on a number of occasions. Ewing with the script. Anthony run into by Ellison and a foul called on the Bullets. Greg Anthony has taken a battering.
This is a foul by Ellison, who's stripped by Ewing, and then he just, with frustration, disposes of Greg Anthony.
And the ball was kicked intentionally, so it goes to the Knicks with 1:35 remaining. Starks wide open. Michael Adams met by Greg Anthony. Gugliotta played by Ewing. Chapman gets it back. The Knicks lead 96-84.
Chapman's a much more effective player this year, having lost 20 pounds since last year.
We're down to 1 minute remaining in a game that has seen the Bullets commit 29 turnovers, so that equals the most by a Knick opponent, matching the number committed by Dallas last time they were in. Rolando Blackman giving the Knicks a 98-84 lead. Blackman with 10 points. John Starks, the high point man, with 24. Anthony for Starks. Yes. Make it a total of 29 points for Starks. 13 for 22 from the field.
Big game for John Starks and Greg Anthony.
Down to 20 seconds remaining. So the Knicks will go to 18-7, and the Bullets will drop to 8 up and 20 down. And Anthony just running it out, goes to the crossover, and then takes the shot. Knicks 102, Bullets 84. An outstanding night for Greg Anthony. 15 points, along with 5 steals. The Knicks make it 2 out of 2 against the Washington Bullets. The Knicks 102 and the Bullets 84. So the Knicks looking to get back on the right track. Certainly had their way an easy victory over the lowly Bullets, who are last in the Atlantic Division. They have dropped 9 of their last 11. Now the Knicks look to Charlotte here at the Garden on Sunday night. We'll be back with our postgame in a moment.
If you were to take every article, every review, every honor, every award, everything positive people have had to say about the Toyota Camry and put it on a wall, you'd need a very big wall. And now there's the new 1994 Toyota Camry with dual airbags, a new V6, and built in America. Imagine the wall we're going to need for that.
Of all the credit cards out there, only one has Smart Rate, now as low as 14.9%, and no annual fee. Discover Card. It's a better deal. It pays to discover. This holiday season, while you're shopping, we'll be dropping $5 million in the Discover Card Big Payback. Now, every time you use your card, you're automatically entered in our $5 million sweepstakes. It pays to discover the card with the big payback.
You'd be so nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire. You'd be so nice. You'd be paradise to come home to.
Introducing Business Saver. Free faxes, movie, fitness center, and free local calls. And most Hiltons proudly offer AT&T long-distance service. Business Saver.
Madison Square Garden television announcers have the David Rickey look. Designers of custom wardrobes for men. David Rickey and Company, New York, California, and the world.
It's the most magical time of the year, the holiday season, and your Jeep and Eagle dealers are working some magic of their own with an incredible zero-down holiday sale. Make no down payment and still save up to $1,500 on Jeep Grand Cherokee V8. Get big savings on Eagle Vision and $500 cash back on Eagle Talent. So hurry in and enjoy that magical feeling only the holiday season can bring.
Plus, right now, make no payments until April. See your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Well, the New York Knicks rebound from Tuesday night's loss to New Jersey with a 102-84 victory over the Washington Bullets, convincing in just about all senses of the word. For Wes Unseld, the torture continues. 20 losses now on the season. His team committed 29 turnovers under the pressure of the Knicks defense tonight, and he will leave New York not feeling very good, and this team will have to live with it until next Wednesday, the next time they take the floor. As for Pat Riley, some very encouraging signs. He saw Charles Oakley play another solid game. He saw Patrick Ewing wake up in the second half. He saw Greg Anthony run a solid show with 15 points. And he saw John Starks get his shot back. The only thing that he also saw were 2 more injuries for the Knicks, who have way too many in that department now. Anthony Mason and Tony Campbell, both with injuries, didn't see any action in the second half. Both don't seem to be very serious. For Anthony Mason, an ankle sprain. He tried to stay in the game but couldn't, did not return in the second half. And Tony Campbell also with a bit of an aggravation of a foot bruise that he has been suffering from for some time. John Starks, good sign for the Knicks tonight, got his shooting touch back. 13 of 22 on the night, 29 points. You could see the confidence for the New York Knicks tonight. From long distance, the shot was there. Driving the lane, the shot was there. Medium range, it was working too. And as a result, the Knicks went on to a victory tonight. And now joining us at courtside is John Starks. And John, there were no wild punching celebrations after you hit shots tonight. You seem to be a very quiet, conscientious, slow to build player tonight.
That's true. I went, the coaching staff showed me some previous films of how I was shooting the basketball up to this game. Then they showed me the game where I played against Miami and how
three-point game.
Three-point game, and my balance was much more better than it was over the last 5 games.
So you actually were able to see something in these tapes?
That's true, and I think the tapes help.
Now, John, when you come out in a game and you know you want to get the jumper working, you know, there's a fine line you have to cross not to press, to try to get it to work too early. How did you handle tonight's game?
Well, I just try to mix it up a little bit. You know, when I first came out, I said if the jump shot presents itself, I'm going to shoot it. If not, I'm going to take the ball to the basket, and I did that.
You don't seem happy.
No, you know, I still think I can shoot the ball a lot better than what I did tonight.
Some really big performances. I thought you and Greg Anthony played extremely well, and for Greg, the confidence is growing as well. We've talked about that, and really he seems about as confident as the Knicks could hope in the short time that Doc has been out.
That's true, and we need for Greg to step up and play big like that. I think as the season progresses and more time he gets out there on the court, more and more his confidence is going to come back.
Yeah, before tonight's game, John, Pat Riley said in some insidious way you can enjoy a loss like Tuesday knowing that it'll teach you something and it can help turn you in another direction. Is that what happened to this team?
I think so, and you know, it was a tough loss for us against New Jersey, but I think everybody understands what we have to do during the fourth quarter. We can't let up for 1 minute.
Well, we've touched about you and Greg and Pat's reaction to Tuesday. What was, in your mind, the most important thing that happened on the floor tonight?
Well, I think we stayed together as a team, even though they came back, and you know, we seemed to pick it up defensively, and we didn't let them, you know, get a good momentum builder going. You know, usually when teams try to come back on you, they rely on momentum, and we stopped that.
John, Happy New Year. Thanks very much.
Well, thank you, Al.
John Starks, 29 points tonight. He had the touch. The Knicks have the victory. And for joining us, John will receive an American Express gift check. Think of it as a universal certificate that can be used to buy anything just about anywhere. Gift checks are available where American Express travelers checks are sold. And some of our guests receive a watch from Fendi, the 900 series, registered in Italian design, finely crafted in Switzerland with an ETA quartz movement for precision timekeeping. Water resistant to 165 feet. The Fendi timepiece collection available at select Macy's store. Many storylines to follow for the Knicks tonight. A couple of new injuries, Greg Anthony as well. But for the Knicks offense, which has been sputtering, this is one of the best signs of all.
Football. Real football. On real grass.
Lambeau Field in snow.
No, too obvious. What about the fearsome foursome?
The Purple People Eaters.
Carl Eller.
No-name defense.
The Oakland Raiders.
Baltimore Colts. Hey, Mike Curtis.
Ray Nitschke.
Willie Lanier.
Immaculate reception.
Franco's Italian.
Oh, real fullback.
Franco Harris, Marv Hubbard, take your pick.
No. The Snake declares there was 26 seconds left. AFC semifinals versus Miami.
Beechwood Aged Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
We've always bounced back pretty strong, and you know, absorb the losses, come back, and try to get back on track. And you know, it's a downtime for us, you know, physically and obviously mentally a little bit. You know, a lot of little things are disrupting the real flow and continuity, but we just keep digging it out, and you know, we'll be okay.
And also, Greg, defensively on Adams is really solid.
You know, we talked about something to think about, you know, before the game with each guy, and you know, guys get sort of caught up in just playing the game, and they get away from the real strengths. I can remember Greg, you know, his first year with us when he and John and Mace, you know, were coming in with just tremendous energy and enthusiasm to play defense, and you know, that's what they were noted for. That was what we were about, and they brought a tremendous energy with us. And, you know, I think we've gotten away from that a little bit from those players. And, you know, we wanted Greg to think about getting back up on the ball, picking it up full court, you know, harassing, you know, the point guard, and just trying to create a lot of havoc on the ball. And I thought he did a good job of that tonight. So, I mean, there were times in his rookie season when he was playing with so much energy where he would, on certain possessions, go from point A to point B to point C and disrupt the whole play set. I mean, he has that kind of athletic ability, and we don't want him jumping all over the place, but we do want him to utilize that a little bit more.
How much was of luxury to know that Oak can, you know, go like basically the whole way in a situation like this?
Well, because of, you know, obviously what happened to Mace, and you know, Tony has an injury to his arch. He's capable of doing it. I mean, he's such great shape, you know, that he can play. And I thought he and Greg were like projectiles. You know, I mean, you just see Oaks all over the place, you know, on the floor, going after loose balls. I mean, he's just totally invaluable, you know, from that standpoint. So, but he can endure the long minutes, I think, in those situations.
Do you feel like Greg has gotten over that period where his confidence wasn't there?
I think it's obvious. Yeah, it's obvious. The last 5 or 6 games that he's, you know, he knows he's going to be out there, so he can settle in. You know, it's like settling in, and he's working his ass off, you know, in practice and working hard on his shooting. So he's showing some good results from that.
Pat, John Starks showed a less emotional style after his success tonight. Was that a conscious behavior by him?
Well, you know, I didn't talk to him about it, but I think sometimes, you know, the only way you can be humble is to be humbled. And I think he's gone through an experience that way, you know, that's been obviously put down under the microscope. So, you know, John's first 3 or 4, you know, efforts offensively were to the basket, which is what he has to do, I think, to get out of that, whatever it is, that dilemma of not finding the rim. But he was solid tonight, you know.
you think one game can turn him around, or will it take a while?
Yeah, you know, you can't rest on your laurels. You know, he's going to have a tough encounter, you know, with Hertzie Hawkins on Sunday, and so you just got to keep coming back strong. Keep building on whatever you do good, you know, one night, and keep coming back strong. And we put together a tape, you know, for him just to sort of analyze some of the things without trying to overanalyze it, because you don't want to do that with a shooter. You start talking too much, it gets worse and worse and worse. And so you just, you know, he's been working real hard and in drills and stuff, and so maybe this is one that will, you know, start him on one of those Starks runs that we're very familiar with, you know, that he's capable of having.
And how bad is Mason's ankle?
It's sore as heck. You know, he took a hit on it, and you know, so it's day to day. You know, it's just too sore for him to actually run on it.
Did you X-ray for him?
No, we don't have that. You know, no, but I think they'll probably X-ray it. You know, right now.
Now, when he went down, did you tell Oak, or did you know in your head that unless things really get out of hand, he doesn't go the whole way?
No, I didn't say a word to him about it. You know, as a matter of fact, you know, I think there are nights that you know, that I've thought about just letting him go the whole time. You know, I mean, really have. So, no, I didn't make a point to him about it. You know, I'd hate to have to take that back. You know, after that behind the back pass, you know, I mean, might have to take that one back. But no, he's a real cornerstone, you know, of this team.
You like what Bonner gave you in this?
Yeah. You know, we know what Anthony can do, and you know, he's a great effort player. You know, and he was on the board. He was defending tough on the threes, and you know, he's got to play that kind of game. You know, if you come off the bench and you're going to play 6 minutes or whatever it is, you're going to be out there in a relief role. You know, it's hard sometimes. You know, we got some veteran players. You know, I mean, Herb's been around for 80 years, and Rowe for 90, and you know, and you know, AB's, you know, young, but you know, when you come off the bench, you got to say, I can't wait 2 or 3 minutes to get warmed up. You got to get right after it. You know, you got to get after it immediately and make an impact somehow. You know, and
They ought to look like he get over his gardenitis.
I wasn't aware of it.
The gardenitis?
No, I wasn't aware. I didn't read the notes. But somebody told me that he's had some tough times here, but he's a great player, great young player.
Will you next couple games against Colorado, let's do kind of a test of what you guys do?
I don't want to hear that, David. Don't give me this test stuff, okay? The season is a test, an enduring test, you know, but we went through 5 or 6 test games, and we have failed all of those, so let's just make it a game, okay? Game 26 on Sunday, you know, and just go after it that way. Get ready for it, you know, in that light, not try to put, well, God, we got to win this one, you know, otherwise, you know, we have failed again in that major test. You know, the only thing that I know and I'm pleased with, and we all have to be very pleased with it, is that we're half game out of first place in the Eastern Conference. Well, you know, we're struggling with all these other things. So I think that's got to be, you know, something that, you know, Dick Carter always would tell me, you know, regardless of what happens to us when we were losing, he said, listen, you know, I mean, it's sort of very philosophical, and he'd always say, you know, tomorrow's another day, and thank God we got our health, you know, but we can't say that anymore because we were always a healthy team, and we're not that, obviously, right now, so we got to play around that.
Tomorrow is another day, though, right? That's the constant in that?
Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Yeah. Putting 500 on black down in Atlantic City. We'll send it down, you know, 2-to-1, right? It's 2-to-1 odds? I don't know. I've never been there.
Go for red.
The Coaches Conference is brought to you by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. For the record, black and red both pay 2-to-1. Knicks with a win. And 16 feet high, 25 tons heavy. It does allow us to get a rare look inside the scoreboard and provide you with some rather unique camera angles. Hi. I'm standing by with Michael Kay in front of the scoreboard, which gives us a rather unique backdrop, too. Mike's just emerged from what has to be a rather, to use one of your common phrases, funereal locker room. They've lost 20 now, and you talked to the coach, I'm sure. How did he respond?
Not well. He wasn't very pleased. This is a guy who's used to winning his whole career,
And I asked him the question that you ask a coach at this point, how frustrating is this for you? And he kind of snapped at me. He said, well, what do you keep asking me frustrating? Because I had asked him before the game as well. And I like to continue, you know, in the line of questioning. And he said, it's not frustrating. He says, I come out every day, and there's a different story every day, so it's not frustrating at all. But in reality, Al, it's the same story every day. This team collapses in the fourth quarter. It really doesn't have a lot of talent. There are some talented players on it, but, I mean, for a coach, it can't be very pleasing. I've been talking to some people with the Bullets, and they said that the rumors have been very hot and heavy over the last couple of days that he won't be fired, but he will be moved, because Abe Pollin, the owner of the Washington Bullets, is a very big fan of his, and that he'll always have a job, no matter where. But he might not be the coach of this team that much longer. Maybe they'll move him up to a front office position, but this is a situation right now that's not very pleasing to the Bullets or to the NBA.
You know, it was a strange NBA game in that the Bullets made a little bit of a move in the third quarter, but the Knicks pushed back and maintained their distance in the fourth quarter. Normal NBA games, if you have a 10, 7, 8, 9-point lead, at some point in the fourth quarter, usually late, the other team that's down is going to make some sort of a move. The Bullets never even came close.
Well, the closest they came, I think, was 7 points, and Unseld spoke about that. He said with 7 minutes left to go, we were down by 7 with the ball, and then Doug Overton dribbled the ball off his leg right down here. And he said then Calvert Chaney pulled the groin muscle, and it just goes on and on. Rex Chapman really was shut down in the fourth quarter after having a pretty decent first 3 quarters. And what he said was he had to play some defense, and he tired out. I mean, Rex Chapman shouldn't be tiring out in the fourth quarter because he has to play for some defense. But, you know, when you're a team of this ilk, you're always going to have excuses. There's always going to be a reason why you didn't do well. And you know, Wes Unseld's grasping as well. He doesn't have any ideas what to do. If he did, he would change it.
Michael Kay irritating yet another NBA coach. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
That's the report from the visiting locker room. Let's recap tonight's game numerically on the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle Dealer scoring summary. John Starks, I don't know where his shot was, but it returned tonight. 29 points, we spoke to him. Patrick Ewing, 15 second-half points, 24 points overall for Ewing with 7 rebounds and 6 assists for the Knicks center. Charles Oakley, another double-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds. Greg Anthony, a very fine game, 15 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. And Rolando Blackman, a big part of it down the stretch, too, 10 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 5 Knicks in double figures, 3 for the Washington Bullets. Rex Chapman with 25 points, 11 of 20 from the floor. Purvis Ellison missed his first shot, then hit his next 10. 21 is how he finished. Tom Gugliotta finally had a good game at the Garden in front of his family and friends from Huntington Station. 17 points, 13 rebounds. Michael Adams, 8 points, 11 assists for the losing Bullets. Back with Curtis Bunn's Knick Report in just a moment.
Catch by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud.
And the Bud dunk of the game from Patrick Ewing with a big second half. He slammed that one in with very little Bullets defense to be seen. Curtis Bunn of the Daily News joining us just outside of the Knick locker room, where I'm curious to hear who you spoke to.
Well, I spoke to Greg Anthony at length, and you know, Greg is the same guy who about a month ago was talking about maybe quitting and retiring to Rhode Island and buying a house on a farm and that kind of thing. And now he's the most confident player on the team, perhaps, because he's really performed well. And he said he learned during that experience to not get too low, and to also, when he's playing well, to not get too high, to maintain a happy medium there, and it's showing on the court.
Is he saying the kind of things and looking the way that you would expect a newly rebuilt, confident point guard in this league to act and say?
Yeah, I think he's, you know, I think his confidence was really there earlier in his career, and he let a lot of things affect him. He has a lot of anticipation of what he can do in this league, and to fail early in the season kind of hurt him a lot. But to play well in these last 5 or 6 games, and he said, you know, Riley has shown me a lot of confidence in me through necessity because Doc isn't here, or through my good play, but whatever, it makes me feel good. It's nice to know that the coaches has confidence in me.
All right, Curtis, let's talk about 2 more Knick injuries. Tony Campbell re-injuring a foot arch that has been bothering him, and in the first half, Anthony Mason gets tangled up in a battle for a loose ball, and you'll see what happens to his ankle as he collides with Brent Price. And you can almost feel the pain as you look at it. Mason tried to stay in the game, but after one trip up the floor, motioned to Pat Riley that he had to leave. Did you talk to him?
Yeah, you know he had to be hurt to come out of the game. You know how much he wants to play. He said that Price landed on his ankle, and it kind of really bent it inward, and he felt like it was encouraging to him that he was able to walk on it now and it did not swell after the game. So he's going to get it checked out tomorrow with an X-ray. But he said he was optimistic that he'd be able to play when they resume on Sunday.
Curtis, in your column today, Pat Riley often says that everybody's got to step up. And you said it was time for Pat to step up. Did he do that tonight in your eyes?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say against a team like Washington. It's so really just a ragged team right now with the lack of confidence, losing at home last night to Sacramento of all teams. But, I mean, I wrote that because it's true. I mean, he's not beyond reproach. Obviously, I do respect his ability, but, you know, when you're losing, everybody has to take some of the blame, and he is one of the people on the team, one of the key members.
All right, Curtis, have a happy New Year. We'll see you Sunday night.
Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone else, too.
All right, that'll wrap it up from Madison Square Garden tonight, where the New York Knicks have beaten the Washington Bullets. It's their 20th loss as the Knicks win for the 18th time this season against 7 defeats. The Charlotte Hornets in the process of doing a number on Chicago tonight. They're getting ready for Sunday's showdown here at the Garden, and Sunday game night begins our coverage at 5:30. Coming up next, we'll take you live to the play-by-play, and Mike Francesa and Jennifer Smith will talk to Kevin Meaney, James Hasty of the Jets, Jim Morris, a political satirist, and they'll also provide you with some college ball picks. The Knicks did some things tonight spectacularly and rebuilt their confidence from Tuesday's loss. Good night, everybody.
Got a good show for everybody on our last show of the year.
Excellent lineup tonight. Excellent lineup. And, you know, big football weekend.
Oh, tremendous. This is good.